Hello, Bitcoiners. You have certainly heard that it's good to get out there and touch grass. My guest today touches clay. Dimitria Barrows graduated from Zurich University of the Arts with a bachelor's in fine arts and has spent a decade working full-time in the art industry at famous galleries. We'll talk about art studios, returning to her own practice in 2024. Her recent work, a lot of her recent work is ceramics, functional sculptural vessels, which I find personally very attractive and shiny, beautiful, detailed work. I saw her work in Prague. I met her in person, very charismatic and lots of good positive energy. I wanted to have her on the podcast. So I am super excited to show off her work and learn more about her today. Super excited to have her. Thanks for joining me, Dimitria.
Thank you so much for the invitation. Hi, guys. Hi, everyone.
How was Prague? I guess we could start with your experience in Prague. When I flew to Europe, I bounced through Zurich. I've never really spent a lot of time in Zurich, but you're living in Zug,
Yes.
in Switzerland, and we can talk about Switzerland too. But you got over to Prague. Was that the first time you've been to Prague, or have you been to that one before?
That was my actually first time at Bitcoin Prague. My husband went there a few years ago. He really loved it. He loved the energy. He met a lot of people. Of course, he was in the VIP section.
Oh, nice.
So he got the super nice treatment. And I've only heard awesome things about Prague. And the art gallery, I mean, it grew so much in the last 2 years. Fractal has done an incredible job. And
Yes.
it was incredible. Like I enjoyed it so much.
Yeah, Fractal has curated a lot of those exhibits and other conferences, and I had him on the podcast. Great guy, love the work he does, and the community of the artists that helps. You know, between like Bitcoin Magazine and the conferences that have an exhibit area for art, I think that's super important for Bitcoin generally, where we can get. You know, we can be into Bitcoin for the tech or the finance and the technologies and business going on in that realm, but as humans, we got to feed our soul in this stuff. So I like seeing the artwork connecting with human relationships and our relationship with art being downstream of culture, which you speak to in your website, which I'm going to bring up real quick here. Art as a consequence is it a consequence of, say, culture, or what? How would you frame your title for your website and your theme here? Art as a consequence of what?
Yeah, it's more like like an action and a reaction in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how the quote came actually, because I think like every great artwork or every idea that you put. It's not, it's a reaction of something. So for me, that's how the ceramics came, was a consequence, of being part of the space, observing, and really, I mean, what's happening in the crypto, what's happening with crypto and what's happening with Bitcoin. That's, I feel like it's a renaissance.
Exactly. Yeah. I love seeing I love the fact that art has become such a part of the Bitcoin culture, community, movement, whatever you want to call it. With the vessels you've been working on lately, where did this start? What was like the first type of work that you made? If I scroll down here, the early stuff.
Yeah, I think if you go on works, maybe. I think
your work.
Yes, I think one of the first one is actually it's all the way up. I don't have everything online at the moment, but if you go on the first row, the year is 2030. Exactly. I think that's one of it was my third vase that I made, and actually it refers to Bitcoin. So if you go on the second to last picture, on exactly there, it basically says the year is 2030. You glance at your Bitcoin wallet. And what does it say?
Displays an astronomical value.
Exactly.
You grin and go back to your busy day.
Correct. I mean, it's not only about the fiat, and it's not only about the value, but it's about the freedom that you're getting with Bitcoin, and whether it's you becoming sovereign,
Yep.
and banking yourself and banking the unbanked and being able to transact, freedom of transaction. And of course, the pizza feature of the
Yeah.
first transaction. And I mean, what is happier and more part of the space than Pepe? So I think that's, like in between of very dreamy, everything is awesome setup, and actually what is happening with the quote that it's kind of surreal, and it's a bit contradicting with what currently is happening. So it's like a little bit bittersweet. And of course, that being glazed, it's like, like the candy, the visual candy.
I was gonna say it's so shiny like candy. You want to touch it, you want to lick it. It's very fine detailed work. The glaze that you do, so much fine detail you've done with this, and we'll see it in other works you do as well. You've got to paint this on very delicately, and then do you have a kiln at home?
I don't have a kiln. I use one at a shared workshop. So at the beginning, I wanted to make some plates because I was getting married. So that's how actually the entire ceramics idea came. I studied fine art. About 11 years ago, I graduated. And after my graduation, I went and I got a normal 9-to-5 job because, of course, you have to work
Being
to
an
pay
artist.
the bills.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to stay in the art industry. And that's what I did. I worked at great galleries and I learned a lot about the industry. And I never touched the brush. And then I've always had it at the back of my mind. I mean, I would do, illustrations, things like that. And then in 2023, 2024, we were having that discussion with my partner of getting married. And then I was thinking, how about we get some plates? We add some nice ring. We add our last name, like very traditional. And then what happened was I did a course. And then I was like, okay, I'm not gonna make plates. I just want to make art and put my ideas and visualization into actually a vessel. And I've always admired. I mean, I'm originally Greek, so when we go to Greece, I always love going to the Kykladik Museum or the ancient Greece, and it's so well known, with their vessels, with their pottery. And I always spend a lot of time looking at those things. So yeah, it's a mix. It's a mix of things.
Yeah, Greece being an early homeland origin story of all of civilization and culture in a lot of ways, going way back to early things. The other works you have here, and I saw a picture of you where you were in Greece. So let's see here on your website, the early origin story of Adam and Eve, and
yes,
the snake is a little Pepe. It looks like kind of a naughty Pepe. The Pepe meme, and I had a couple weeks ago, I had Gus Grilaska on, and he got early into the rare Pepes, and I'm still learning about Pepe. I mean, it's Pepe has entered the art culture and the scene in the Bitcoin community for sure as well, in so many different ways. Tell me about being interested in Pepe and integrating Pepe into your work. What does Pepe represent for you and in your work? We'll see it in other works as well here.
It represents a lot of things. And I mean, just going back to that vase, I mean, yeah, I have a lot of features of Pepe, but I mean, there in particular, it talks about Genesis, the story of, Adam and Eve. And then at the back, it says, don't trust, verify, which is a huge thing of, our entire philosophy within Bitcoin and blockchain. And I think that's something great about Pepe. He completely represents the community and the culture. And that's how it really bridges between what's happening with Bitcoin, what's happening with, our sovereignty and money and a lifestyle. And by lifestyle, I don't mean, like luxury. I mean, being your own man, being your own, yeah.
Yeah, your own person. Pepe is
Your own
kind of like
person, exactly, correct.
he's his own person. The original
Yeah, and the
Pepe
comic,
in the
exactly,
comic.
exactly, and
He's like,
how the story completely blew. Yeah, definitely, and how it went into politics, and then they tried to save it again with a documentary. So it has had quite a journey, but I think in the Bitcoin space, in the crypto space, it's a persona that we really identify with.
mm-hmm.
And that's our alter ego. It's our mascot.
Yeah, that's awesome. You find Pepe in so many things. Tell me about where you live in Zug, if I pronounce that correctly, with my
Mhm.
American accent. It's known as like the Valley of Crypto, and where you live, it's fairly pervasive there. Tell me about Crypto Valley and where you live.
Absolutely. I mean, the city of Zug has been incredibly innovative. I mean, it's one of the first cities worldwide that accepts the irony: taxpayers' money. You can pay your taxes in Bitcoin.
Oh, wow.
So there's quite innovation, and we do have quite good laws in terms of blockchain companies, technology companies that can be incorporated here. Ethereum was actually founded here
Oh,
in Zug. That's where the 5 founders came together and they started working, and they did the first transaction just by the lake where I was before swimming.
oh, wow. Did you
So
move
yeah.
there for those reasons, to be in that community, or what's your story about learning about crypto generally and Bitcoin?
Oof.
And it sounds like
So
your husband's into it.
very much, that's true. We've known about Bitcoin since like relatively early,
Hmm.
but we did not take actions until later. So we first came across it in 2012, and then by 2017, 2018, we started being more invested into playing with it, buying a little bit, doing small transactions, understanding it, studying it, how it works, how it functions, reading more about it. And at that time, I was in London. I was working for a very renowned art gallery. And we just wanted to move back to Switzerland. And then I got a job in Zug for another art company. So I was commuting between Zurich and Zug, which is basically just 30 minutes with the train.
Oh, nice.
And I mean, there were a lot of crypto events happening at that time.
Hmm.
We have the Crypto Valley Association. We also have the CV Labs, which is Crypto Valley Labs.
Okay.
So yeah, and there's a lot of companies: Tezos Foundation, Cardano Foundation, Ethereum, Web3. There's a lot of there's a buzz. There's a buzz
Sure.
here. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, when you think of the NFT movement, the art in those digital directions, and
Mhm.
we'll talk about the art, the NFCs you have in your artwork as well. It looks like Zug is, let's see here. It looks beautiful. That you were just telling me you were swimming in the lake here earlier before the podcast, so you got wet, but
Wet hair, drying.
yeah, you came out of the lake to join me here, which I appreciate you making this work. It
Commitment
looks
just for
beautiful.
you. It's super nice. It's about 30,000 people. It's very clean. There's quite a few expats actually. So
Okay.
you hear a lot of English in the streets.
Lake Zugersee.
Yeah,
Zugersee.
Zugersee, exactly, Zugersee. It's nice. I like it, and it's very Bitcoin friendly. We have a small bakery that makes those silicon mold Bitcoin chocolates.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you can buy your little Bitcoin
Swiss
chocolate and
chocolate.
exactly gift it to a friend and spread the message. I've done that a few times already, and they're waiting for like a seed phrase or something inside.
The best. So going to art school, you if this will come up here,
Yeah,
Zurich
that's right.
University of the Arts, ZHDK. It is if I say this right, Zürcher Hochschule der Kunst. Tell me about your
Excellent.
experience in art school.
Excellent.
Did I do okay?
Totally. Our German speaking friends, they'll be like, awesome.
The studied there, got your degree there. What did you study while you were there?
I studied fine art, and it was a pretty broad degree. So I did a little bit of bookbinding, silk screening. I had my own practice of painting. I did history of art, history of photography, curation. So I had different models in different disciplines. So the only thing that I would repeat every year would be my own practice, and then everything else I needed every semester to have 2 modules of history of art, then more experimental, something video art or bookbinding, which I did, or silk screening, which I also did. So like quite experimental. It's not that traditional, so you don't really learn how to paint. I did that before. I studied when I was a very young child, just around 7, 8. I did oil painting lessons, and also iconography, so the painting of saints. So I know how to paint already.
Yeah.
So the freedom that the university offered me was more towards experimenting and learning something that I didn't know.
And during school, did you start to gravitate into more ceramics? Like we see some of your video, you post on your X feed a lot of your work as it goes. This is a medium of choice in a way. You can feel it, get into it, tangible creations
Exactly.
of vessels.
Yeah,
This is
vases,
your
vases. Yeah.
Go ahead.
For me, it's more about, I love the utility. I mean, of course, I have art that is hanging on the walls, but I think also working in the art industry where everything is, don't touch, with just white gloves and art handlers, and a lot of art gets bought and stored. I think I got a bit of a fatigue. And for me, I always gravitated towards artworks that you can actually touch, you can live with. I put a lot of flowers in those behind me. So I do use them on quite regular basis. And I think that's mainly why I really enjoy ceramics. It enhances my life. And I think that gives me more joy, really. And ceramics, it's more of a self-taught in a way. That's why it also looks a little bit funky. Some I do casting, some I do on the wheel. And the latest ones I do with just coiling, which is basically in that video.
Yeah, you make ropes and coil them and then shape them that way.
Correct.
They look quite symmetric and perfect to me. I would just say they're very high quality in terms of useful, functional, practical vessels that you can, so yes, it's art, it's shiny, it's beautiful, and hey, put flowers in it, put what you will.
I love that. And the one that I had at Prague that you saw, that was also coiling. I literally did it in 2 hours in my living room, just before packing my suitcase to go for a flight for work. So just before a business trip, the night before, I just made that. So yeah, I love having that freedom.
Oh, if my video will play here, you can see the art of your vessel here. Let me bring that. Let me bring your the Simpsons one that you have. Let's see. Okay, let's go to your work.
Exactly.
And you got a lot of Simpsons themes in here, which when you say
it's this one. Yeah, the seed phrase.
When you tap into culture, and it's crazy. I love this one because it's absolutely so recognizable. You got the bully guy. Give me your seed phrase. The Simpsons. I was just I was trying to remember. I saw The Simpsons on television back in the 80s. There was a show called The Tracy Ullman Show, and it was like 1987. I think I was like 11 or 12 years old. And The Simpsons just had these little short clips of just the funny animations that Matt Groening did. And then it became its own thing. And I remember like a whole season then coming out on Fox. They are on their like 37th season. They've been running for, well, as old as I am, just about, but
it has shaped our culture completely.
So
generations.
Tapping into culture. I used to think of this as kind of a joke on silly American culture, but it's global and popular everywhere, apparently. So when did you learn about The Simpsons? And is The Simpsons that popular then in Europe, apparently?
It's popular, I think, with the internet, of course. We do have it on the German channel sometimes when I'm just, going through the through TV to see what there is. But I think it has become super popular nowadays, just like watching things online.
Yeah.
And we had this tradition with my partner that every dinner we would watch an episode. It took us a few years. So every night we would watch one, and we started from the completely beginning, from the very primitive cartoon.
It's interesting to see the style change and
as
they upgraded over the years. I had to look it up because it's been such a backdrop on television for so long. And when I checked, it's like, yes, it is still running. No end in sight. 37 seasons for decades. It's been going and tapping into, I mean, a lot of American culture and comedy, but there's always so much content. Here you are with Martin, one of the organizers. He and his brother put the whole Prague conference together. You had a feature here right on the table, right in the middle. You walked right by it. That's where I ran into you and we started chatting a little bit. I love this piece because it's that school, blockchain fiat school.
School of blockchain.
There's an image on it, if I can find it, but there's an image where, where Bart's having to repeat things on the blackboard for having been naughty, and he's writing a Satoshi quote down there.
Yes. If you don't believe me, I don't have time to convince you. Yes.
Yeah,
and
I don't have time to convince you.
Exactly. And that was actually the first vase. I don't have it photographed, but I think I have it somewhere on my X. Maybe I can share
let me look for it. Here it is. I've got it.
The seed for exactly this. And there's basically he's naughty and he's writing on the green board.
Yeah, exactly. There it is.
Yeah, and it's so small. I have 1 cent, I think.
And so the detail work in these, glaze has got to be hard to work with because it dries up. You got to keep the texture right. If you mess up, I don't know how easily you can clean it. And then also you don't know entirely what you're going to get until it comes out of the kiln. And did it bleed? Did colors come out? Is it what you want? Do you have to throw pieces away sometimes? That's got to be hard when you worked really hard on a piece and it melts or something.
I have had a few hiccups. 2 vases that I did not fire them before painting. And I do a lot of layers, something between 3 to 5 layers.
Oh.
That's why you get the color saturated. Otherwise, it turns translucent.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to speed up the process. And I just just coiled it, I finished it, I let it dry, and I went ahead and I painted it. And it cracked. There were so many cracks because the clay absorbed all the moisture from the paint.
Oh, and there was too much.
There was too much. So I was working simultaneously on 2 of those, and both of them I was unable to do anything with them. And then another time they just fired it at the wrong temperature, so all the glaze melted.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's a lot to it in that regard. I mean, you think about it's one thing to make the shape you want in the clay, but if you
Yes.
have air pockets in there,
Correct.
or too much moisture, too little moisture, and then let alone the glaze, and then the kiln firing process. When I was in high school, I had to take an art class, and I'm not an artist. I mean, I very much appreciate art, but I can't really create much really. And I don't really try. But it's not just the quality of the detail work or being able to render, recognizable things and produce what you want to make. But when it's a physical media, there's so many things physically involved with getting there that you can
Yes.
mess up parts along the way, or you're focused on one area and you forgot about another. And then, the whole in pottery class, I put a lot of work into something. And in one case, there was just an area that it was just very thick. And maybe it was from thick to thin and there was moisture in it, or whatever happened. And it just cracked in half. And after what I thought was a bunch of work, it was garbage. So I was like, oh,
Yeah.
but
You have to learn to deal with it, right? Like at some point, you're not in control anymore, and it is what it is. And the color might be darker or lighter or translucent at some points. And you've spent, 40 hours.
you capture the Simpsons well. I like where was it? On your website. Oops, yep. Going back to the Homer retreating into the bushes. This one in particular as well. This has a lot of texture, and I have a video I'll find here of you. But you had to make all these leaves, so you make the vessel, then you got to get the leaves on there, right?
Yeah.
And as you watch Homer retreat into the bushes, it taps right into that meme we all see, like talking about the Bitcoin price, and you just kind of retreat into the
Exactly.
bush. Like, it's funny.
Exactly. Yeah, I love it. I love the culture. I love, what's happening in the space, and I think it's quite comical. And of course, it's highly innovative. Bitcoin and the fact that the code can be changed maybe at some point if everybody unites and we all agree, and how it runs. I think that's incredible, and it has never been done, cannot be replicated, more or less. And it's beautiful. And I think also, with the vessels, there's also utility to it. It's also art. There's a functionality. It's part of our everyday life. So I see a lot of paths interfering as a medium within storytelling of what's happening in our space.
Yeah, I call the podcast Bitcoiners United. Right now there's so many potentially divisive things that we can churn around about in Bitcoin and elsewhere, where people view this tech or what it's intended for, what we use it for, and there can be ruptures that occur between opinions about how and what and where we do it. But art connects us all in a way where, despite the things we might disagree on, there's way more that we agree on, and there's much more we can be united about in terms of why we Bitcoin, why we like the hard money, don't like what we
Correct.
see in fiat. And
Exactly.
so art connects us in that way, where there's a gestalt to more than just the little sum of its part. It's the broader movement of human relationships, producing things of value, creating beautiful things.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, connected to Bitcoin to the extent that that's part of the culture, but you're putting in proof of work here for sure, leaf by leaf by leaf.
Yes. But I think
Out,
also, like you mentioned, hard money, right? And if you
yeah,
study money and like the barter system, how the entire evolution. And I think that's why you appreciate hard money more. That's why you appreciate Bitcoin more. That's why you appreciate handmade things in a way a little bit more. And it makes me think, you mentioned I made the vase leaf by leaf, proof of
Uh-huh.
work, it's there. Reminds me, of that's a nice metaphor, of block, every single block, solving a mathematical problem. So, and it's not just, printing money, and there's a contradiction,
Right.
and
Well, and you touch upon that too in your description with Adam and Eve, that Adam being created from clay, or that humanity emerged from the clay. I think of your heritage in Greece, the Greek culture, onto the Roman Empire and all the things, but the early artwork, cuneiform back in Mesopotamia, cuneiform works, early writing, early math, ledgers, literally ledgers,
Mhm.
Ole. Jonat Vax does work in clay with making bole, where you can put things of value inside of a ball, and it's all clay. Clay is like that root fundamental, like the human origin story, where we came from, the substrate and the medium that we emerged from and used to make things immutable in a way, to save and preserve and store stories, and have them be useful technology in a way. Vessels, ledgers, writing, all that. Clay
Exactly.
is like a base theme part of our world, I guess you might say.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
Like how many points it touches?
Yeah.
It's incredible.
And so when you work in and with clay, I mean, it feeds your passion, your spirit of a medium of choice in terms of getting your hands wet, dirty,
Yes.
dry, uh, uh, and then adding to that with the shapes, the forms, the
Mhm.
glaze work. I personally, what's so attractive to your artwork is the nature of how shiny and pretty it honestly is. That's what struck me when I saw it. Here's another one here that it's also fun and funny with the
Another
the
meme.
doggy burning up, like with the Bitcoin price. This is all fine as we kind of cope, but it's so shiny. You added the flowers on there.
Yes.
Hard to do.
Burning.
Hard to put that on this and have it not fall apart or stick correctly, be structurally sound, not crack. You have a
Yeah.
variety of styles of approach you do with the clay.
True, true. And actually, that was one of the first ones that I did. That's also 2024. And that's the first one that I did with coiling.
Oh,
And I completed the vessel. And then a few months later, I did the roses. And it worked. Incredible that it worked. And then you have the thorns, and on the front you have the burning. This is fine with the coffee cup, and at the back you have the skeleton. So
yeah.
it's not really fine. It's a bit
Yeah.
comical. It's a little bit sad, oxymoron, a contradiction there also.
Yeah, the memes tap into other parts of what we
Philosophy,
manage
yeah.
in life, why we like them. Fiat, we live in a fiat world, fiat burns
Correct.
around us, and things are fine. as
Exactly.
as Paper the
And
Frog sort of slowly gets boiled, but
exactly. Correct. Correct. And we're so fixated on, value goes up, value goes down, what the candles are doing.
uh-huh.
And I think there's, it's nice to have many people in the space, but I think education is also important
Yeah.
within Bitcoin. It's not only about what the price is doing, because it's being influenced by so many things. And of course, with the governmental entities, and not
Uh-huh.
everyone has the same incentives.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta just stay humble, work at McDonald's, stack your
Correct.
stack, plan for your escape. It'll sometimes you just gotta put in time, stay humble, stack sats, and as
Correct.
fiat heats up, you're building a foundation for perhaps an escape, some sovereignty.
Exactly.
Uh,
Exactly. And
let's talk
coping
about
with
your
memes.
Say that again?
Coping with memes.
Yeah, coping. Here's one that I really like because of the detail and the math involved here.
Yes.
Magic Internet Money. We've got the Pay Magician, the wizard. You have the math functions, and when I look at this closely, this is, I'll just say, in my mind, this is hard to do. The elliptical curve, the formula.
Correct.
It's one thing, when you do art and you can, yes, it's finely lined and careful coloring. When you're doing line work, pinstriping, line work, all this stuff, talk about attention to detail. I don't know how forgiving glaze is, but when you're painting it, I mean, if you mess it up, I guess you can scrape it a little bit, but you got to be super careful trying to do the layers on there. One mistake and you could be messed up.
It's true. And also I have super tiny brushes. And every time I paint something, the hairs fall off. So it's also, every time I need like new brushes because it's so, the glaze dries so fast. And I can scrape it a little bit, as you mentioned. I do that a little bit with a toothpick, but it's very hard. Like I think I posted a picture some days ago, some weeks ago, and you could see like, because I hold the brush like this, right? And I have so much pressure on this finger that at some point the finger gets a little, like it goes a bit low, like it gets a little deep because of the pressure. So it's a lot of time. It hurts you physically sometimes a little bit. As you can see, like the brush, the hair is so tiny.
Yeah.
But it's a labor of love.
Broad swaths of color, which all takes time as well. The clouds, the lines.
And that's that's unburned. So you can see also the contrast of the colors, how they look at the end.
Yeah, so stuff like that right there. If I can go back a little bit.
Yeah. And like zoom a little bit on the brush, you can see how this brush has literally like 2 hairs.
Yeah, fine. I didn't know glaze could do that exactly, but you got to keep your glaze
wet,
viscous enough, liquid enough.
Yes.
Because if it sits, it'll just dry, right? Get like a skin on top.
Correct. It dries, and then if you need to change it, you have to scrape the entire thing until you reach where the clay is.
Down,
so you make
down
like
to
a
the
mistake.
bottom.
Down to the bone.
If you screw up, can you scrape it down and fill it back in and kind of fix it?
You could fix it. I've done it in the past, but there's spaces where it bleeds. So if you're just doing it, if you're merging colors, then you have to be super careful. It's not going to be the same as if you paint it without an error. So you can still kind of, tell, or I can tell that it was there.
Well, I love the quality and precision of your work. You're a good artist. What can I say? You graduate from Zurich School of Fine Arts. And did you start working with the Gagosian? Is that it? I know you went to a couple of different galleries, but one of which that you have mentioned, there's the Gagosian and the museum or the Galerie Thaddaeus Ropac.
Yes.
In London? Was that in London?
They have a few galleries worldwide. I worked in the London gallery. But at Gagosian, after I graduated, I did my internship there. I did it in New York. I was super, super lucky, super happy. No connections, just a cold application. Awesome. It's quite hard to get in also. It's a very reputable gallery, the Gagosian Gallery. Thaddaeus Ropac is also a very reputable gallery with strong European artists. So those are more, like blue chip galleries. They represent artists like the estates, various estates, or, Pablo Picasso, Robert Lichtenstein, more, established blue chip art. They do work with some contemporary artists, but it's it's very gate kept. It's very professional.
Hard to get into.
Hard to get into. Long waiting lists for artworks, because of course that's where art as an assets comes into play.
Certainly.
So it's a completely different environment. I learned a lot. I'm super grateful. It's an institution on its own. I worked.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely, I worked there for an executive director. I was running her office and also the artist liaison studio. Not sure if you're familiar with Damien Hirst.
I'm not. No.
He did the like what's very mainstream. It's the pickled sharks. He did the sharks in the formaldehyde fish tanks, and then he just like cut them so you can see parts of it. Was very popular he did that in the 90s, and then early 2000s that completely took off within the art market. So I was working closely with the studio on a few of the exhibitions, and then later the artist also created his own NFT. So that was also quite interesting from an observational point to see someone that is so much rooted in the traditional art market to take a gamble and play a little bit more with the NFT space. Exactly, that is the one.
Okay, yeah. I was not familiar with this. People sometimes modern art, people who experience art a little more peripherally or aren't in the space, when you see like a banana taped to the wall or something, you're like, what? I don't understand it. I could. It's kind of the whole joke about what is art, what's the value of art. All art is overpriced, sort of thing. But
is it art?
Is it art? That's not art. And it's like, well, here it is. What's the experience that you're having as you stand here looking at it, thinking all these thoughts? Correct. That's kind of the experience that we're going for here, right?
But look at the title.
The physical impossibility of death in the mind of someone
leaving.
Let me see if I can get to that here. Living, the physical impossibility of death in the mind of someone living.
That's very conceptual.
Yes.
I mean, you have the shock of seeing, the shark, and why is it? Am I, at a zoo? Am I at the aquarium? Where am I? National History Museum? Am I at an art gallery? Your makes you think of your surroundings. Mm-hmm. And then what is a shark doing? Is that ethical for the sake of art? And then you look at the title, it kind of maybe puts in, like a little light bulb in your mind.
Right.
I think whether you like it or not, it's not about the likability. I think what good art does, it makes you think,
Yeah. I've had experiences. Something. Yeah, it's not just what it is. It's the shock or the awe or the that the Correct. Viewer has going through seeing something like this in, say, like a gallery. The gallery itself frames a context or an environment in the effort to put it here on the wall or in the room. Here it is, and people walk up to it. As an artist, I can imagine you can sit and watch people look at your art or, have these experiences. And that's kind of the point. It's not like, well, but what can it do? But is it pretty? Is it clean? Is it refined? There is art that gravitates that way, but it's very much about the user experience, the nature of someone who would have that in their home and what that means to them. It's not transactional or objective. It's subjective.
Yeah. And they say, a visitor in a museum, they spend maximum 7 seconds in front of an artwork, right? And that's, you spend hours making something, And then how much does it transact? How much time does it get from somebody else? And in Prague, it was awesome. Like I had so many people, like you yourself. It sparked an interesting conversation. There were a few people that, were just trying to pick it up and see what it is and look at it rather than go side to side. They would just pick it up and
Do you let
and it's
people touch it?
interesting. Yeah, I
Okay.
let them. I let them. It
Okay.
was an interesting, experiment for me.
Like, don't drop it.
Don't drop it. But I mean, it's a vase. It's a vessel or a vase, however you want to pronounce it. It's supposed to be used. Of course, we had it in an art gallery, so there are specific expectations in a way people interfere with it. But I thought it was quite interesting that they had the need to actually touch it.
I've
And
thought
in
of
it,
yeah, people want to, and when it's like a candy, it's so shiny. I mean, I wanted to be very respectful. I wasn't going to touch art, but I wanted to like touch it. It's so shiny and smooth,
like
and
polish it.
I want to hold it. I want to own it, because they're so pretty. When I think of art and say like movies, for example, I'll go to movies with people, and like my wife or a friend will have a different set of expectations and what they're looking for in terms of an experience with a movie. So many people they want to be entertained. They want CGI, they want action, and just, I want to be entertained. And we went to a movie, years ago, Midsummer was one that came out that is, it was like kind of horror, but eerie and like, ooh, tapped into some, Northern European rural, scary story stuff. But I just found it fascinating. And it was a horror story, but I came out of seeing that movie is like, okay, you could judge it very superficially for the pace or the horror, or that was just so weird. And if you're just looking to be entertained or to have a fun time, people would come away from that feeling kind of some horror. And so everyone I went to that movie with like hated it. Like, that was horrible.
Oh, no.
That was so horrible. And yet it's the one movie they keep bringing up as like almost a joke, as like that one movie that was so weird. And I appreciated it just for that experience. I'm like, see, it's not like that you liked it per se, but we are still talking about this movie because it was so weird and scary and odd. And so that itself had way more of an impact than any of the other movies that we would go to see for just entertainment.
Exactly.
When I think of that kind of morbid art, and from Switzerland, H.R. Geiger,
Yes.
we don't have to belabor him, but
Hans Rudi.
oh my God. When I was a kid, and of course the Alien movies had come out, and that's where I first saw this stuff. It's horror, it's scary, it's super real and yet exotic and alien. I didn't really realize until years later he lived in Zurich for a long time.
Yes, I went to his museum. I met with his widow. We did an interview.
Oh, wow.
2 years ago. So actually, quite interesting that you're mentioning that. So I do have a connection there.
He is popular. Most Americans know it from the movies and the alien stuff.
Aliens, yeah.
But when I went to look at his, I actually bought a print of this one here. And I had it in college. I had this on my wall, and people, I mean, it's like, oh, it's so creepy and weird, but I'm fascinated by, yes, it's morbid. It's almost like, oh, out of hell or something. But it's a combination of quality and vivid imagination that just, I don't know how to describe it. It's just amazing stuff. Anyway, tell me about H.R. Geiger.
He's incredible. Same with you. Super fascinated with his art. It's completely out of this world.
Oh, yeah.
And a few years ago, I partnered with 1337. That's a website. One, as you write it, then the number 33, and then you type 7. We did, so 33 then. So the number 33, and then you would type 7 as you would write it. 7, exactly there. And if you go on people, I did, so that was the Bauhaus Signet NFT. That was also a project I did.
Oh.
And then you can see I spoke with his widow, Carmen. I think there was an anniversary, and those are all interviews that I conducted with.
Oh,
with
there
people.
you go.
Exactly, that's me.
Interviewed by Dimitria.
Yes, and that we did in 2024 in April.
April 18th, 2024. Oh, that's cool. So this is the interview right here. I'll have to read
Exactly,
this.
that's the interview. Exactly. I also went to the museum, but I mean, it's an incredible story. Their story, how their love story, but also his art, and he had quite a tough childhood actually. He's from Chur. It's an area in Switzerland, and during that time when he was born, it was around the Second World War, I think, and his mom was quite traumatized and scared. So he had quite a difficult childhood. They would retrieve in the mountains for a few days, and that's also how the abyss came to him in a way. He was also very quite close with Salvador Dali. He lived in Zurich. He had a studio in Zurich. He exhibited at the Kunsthaus also. And he has his museum and the Giger bar. So the image on the right is the bar. So you can go have a coffee or an alcoholic beverage. And it has the skeleton chairs. It's super cool.
Wow. What an environment.
And then on the right side, on the left side, that's the museum. And they are literally on the same building. And he has a castle. So that's like a castle museum. And it has everything. It has all his sketches from the Alien movie with his notes, the paintings, a lot of things. Super interesting. Super interesting.
I've always found H.R. Geiger so fascinating, and I don't even know how to describe it, but it hits you. It's hard not to be affected by it. And you think about him doing this style of art way back, I don't know, at least in the 80s, but nobody ever seen anything like it. And it was super realistic. And the
I think late 60s even, or 70s.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Way older.
I just, it's amazing not to get sidetracked on H.R. Geiger, but it's definitely, it's Swiss. It's absolutely unique and fascinating. The fact that you went there, he moved to a castle and then basically converted his castle into an art gallery. I guess he died in 2014.
He fell off the stairs, which is so strange. He died in Zurich. And so interestingly enough, Zurich is very artsy. So he has a very strong art program. And just before the big art fair in Basel, Zurich does the Zurich Art Weekend. So all the galleries and all the art scene, all the artists, they all come together and they do like a very nice program open to specific people, you know. And Carmen, his wife, she opens the studio. She opens the house and the studio part. And outside of their house, he built like a fun fair, like with a ride. So there's this house, they have like a house, and then there's the fun fair area, and everything is like covered and hidden with trees. And then during that week, she has some people over, some, you know, art collectors or art lovers during Zurich Art Weekend, and they all go, they visit it in person. And that's the house where he fell, and then he died after a few days.
Yeah, quite a loss. Hate to lose him. He was in his 70s, but when I look at some of these images, I mean, just man, those ceilings,
right?
those chairs. If I get to Zurich again, I'm gonna have to check this out. But
it's not in Zurich. I think this is like 2-3 hours by car outside of Zurich.
Okay. So it's up in it's up in the country here. And these gardens, is this where it's at?
No, that's not it.
Oh,
That's
that's not it.
it's in
Okay, that's
Glier, but
something
that's
else.
not the one.
Oh, that's okay. That's something else.
If you do HR Giger, we say, and you do the museum, you just type museum,
Let me
you will
check.
see it on the. It's not like a very traditional castle, like as you would imagine, and um, you go on images. That's the coffee. That's the coffee bar that he has. But
Let's see if I
that's
can find
a little bit outside of the museum.
Oh, hey, there's that image. That's the one
That's the
I
one you
got.
have.
Yeah.
Was it signed?
No,
No.
no. I was in college and I just saw a reprint, like a poster, and I wanted to get it. But man, what a
It's
I
crazy. And he had another bar in Asia somewhere that he opened. So he was
huh,
super popular.
yeah, worldwide.
Hmm.
What a vision. And that's the thing, when as an artist, when you think about the things that kind of deep in there behind the scenes, kind of what drives you, what you're striving for as you make different things, and you're trying things on, you're experimenting different medias, you build towards stuff behind that, or that I don't know what you call it, but the spirit behind what is your passion and what your vision is, that it's kind of inspiring in a way. Even if that alien horror isn't someone's vision, he connected it. And
Yes.
so how might you describe that spirit of what you're doing when you make your art? Describe that sort of spirit and passion behind your art as a consequence.
Definitely. I mean, for me, art has always been a language, like every artist develops their own vocabulary. And as I mentioned before, there's a action and a reaction. And I think that's mainly what the entire ceramics, glaze, like comic visuals, simplified, but the subject matter is quite complex, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I like doing. I like taking complex subjects that are super important, like the monetary system, that's
Yeah.
ultra hard money important, sovereignty important, and I think we lack education. So that's where I'm going to try and focus more. Also with my next works, it's more about some sort of just planting a seed of information. Don't trust, verify. Oh, interesting. That's on a vase with the Genesis scene. Is
Mm-hmm.
that biblical? Is that, what does it mean? Don't trust, verify, right?
Yeah.
Or the seed phrase that I had in Prague with give me your seed phrase, accepting Bitcoin. I mean, it's a dare, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's what interests me mostly. Or by the deep, with a little
The,
if yeah,
the
with the, and actually there's a guacamole dip. So it's like a play on language.
say that again.
So if you go a little bit further in the other images, you will see there's like a little guacamole dip.
Oh,
So,
guacamole. Yep.
so
Yep.
guac, by the dip, like it's a little
Yep.
play on the lingo. So I like, I enjoy the simplified language that just brings you in, and then there's maybe a deeper message to it.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of describes what my art making, my art praxis, the subject matter evolves around.
Yeah. It like Bitcoin, but to many people, the question, what is money? What is like their money?
Correct.
Like I might say the dollar, like what is
Yeah.
inflation? All these deep questions, it's just sort of
What is
invisible in the
gold?
air to us.
Yeah.
We
What?
we
Yeah.
manage it every day, but we don't think about it, or many people don't understand it. It just is. And well, the Federal Reserve is a federal reserve, right? When it's not
But what
federal and
does
it's
it
not
do?
a reserve.
How does it function? Why is it there? Why did we create it? How did it come? What happened with the gold? Why did
Where's the
we?
gold?
Where's the gold exactly? You know,
Yeah,
there's
and
so many
so
questions around it.
yeah, so you with money or economies or things that people take for granted, and so the things that you connect with in your art, it gets people to stop and think. And for people who are thinking about this stuff, or certainly even Bitcoin, crypto things, it resonates in such a deep way. And it's also, I find it fun. It's adding fun, charismatic, positive energy to it. The culture of play, that it can be a serious subject. For some people, it can be like once you see it and you can't unsee it, and you can get kind of black pilled and all the system and the
Yeah,
establishment and the banks. There's things that you can be dour about, like, oh, it is broken or it is a scam, all this stuff.
yeah,
What I like about the art is the fun and play we're having with it as we stay humble and stack and share it
correct.
and escape, free ourselves. We're having fun here. It's not like, I mean, yes, it's important, but we're not so serious and, I don't know, dour about it. Like,
Yeah, it's a
oh,
conversation starter,
yeah,
right? It's bringing somebody in. It's like the Swiss chocolate with the Bitcoin silicon mold that we have at the local bakery, and I can go to my friend and give her a Bitcoin chocolate, and spread the message a little bit.
yeah, yeah. I love it. I wanted to also. So one of the other, we didn't touch on it as much, but the Gagosian, because you also did you spend more of your time here at this gallery, or was it at
No, the Ropac. No, I spent more at Gagosian.
so you were more so at the Gagosian. So tell me about the Gagosian. We didn't touch on that as much.
So it was founded by Larry Gagosian, who is a proper gangster in the art industry. He's alive, Larry Gagosian. He's also
Okay.
Jay-Z also raps about him, so it's
Oh, really?
it's quite a big deal. I'm being a little bit funny here.
What made him a gangster? He just was willing to break rules, do
He broke
something different.
rules. He started from. He's originally from Armenia. Gagosian. His last name gives it out. He started selling posters in the back of his car. And he realized that if he puts the posters in nice frames, he can charge a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then he moved to New York, and he worked together with the legendary gallerist Leo Castelli. And when Leo Castelli died, some journalists asked Larry, what was the best thing that you took from Castelli? And he said his clients. So he's quite out there, and people say that the sun never sets on Gagosian's empire, and that's true. He has galleries in every single continent, and quite a few. So the gallery really works 24/7. It's it's a nice, intense environment. He moves, 8 figures of art, 8 figures in sales of art. And it's a big industry, and he's quite legendary. He's in his 80s, I think, now, still very active. And it was incredible. I loved working there. I learned so much, and he's definitely a legend.
He definitely looks familiar.
I'm sure you've seen. I'm 100% sure you've seen him somewhere, like a book, magazine. He's very prominent, and he worked quite a lot with Jean-Michel Basquiat. And he's funny, he's witty, and people are afraid of him, but he's not that scary, to be honest.
You met him and worked.
I worked at the headquarters, so where he was based. I worked at 980 Madison Avenue, which has now closed, I think, over the last, a year plus. So that era has closed. The headquarters are not there anymore. The building was bought.
So you were in New York for many years.
No, I was only there for 1 year, and then I moved back to Switzerland. Then I got a job offer to join Gagosian in London,
Oh,
which was
London.
also nice, but it was not the same. It's a different culture, and I think culture really makes it or breaks it. But I enjoyed both locations. I worked for the New York Gallery, and then I worked for the London Gallery.
Awesome.
But it's not the same.
You like being in Switzerland. I mean, I think of Swiss Hodl, moved from Finland to get to Switzerland, and people love Switzerland. Of course, the Bitcoin conferences and Zug and Crypto Valley.
We also have Lugano with Plan B.
Lugano, Lugano's a big
Correct.
one.
Lugano is also a big one.
What got you from Greece up to Switzerland?
My life is so complicated.
You don't have to talk about anything you don't want to, but any good story is good.
It's Greek. Then as a teenager, I moved to the UK. I finished high school there. I got into university to study fashion design. And then I moved to Zurich because my mom was here. So I just came for the summer holidays. And I really liked it. I liked the stability that Switzerland has. At that time, London was, London is very exciting, right? And I just wanted to stay here. I felt a lot more comfort when you compare the two countries, right? And then I learned German for 2 years. Then I went to university. After university, I did my cold call application to Gagosian. I got in. I moved to New York for a year. I came back to Zurich. I got another job at another gallery, local gallery, which has closed now, but it was also quite pioneering. It showed Alexander Calder. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the artist. He does all the kinetic sculptures, very big, sandy Alexander Calder.
Alexander, how do you spell Calder?
Calder. So it was a woman who started her gallery in the 80s, and she brought Alexander Calder for the first time in Switzerland. So it's also very poetic, and it moves. Those are very heavy.
I was going to say the metal. I mean, when you think of sculpture and sometimes it's just the fact that it can exist and get situated is what's amazing about it. I definitely recognize this one.
There's so many in public locations in the States. And he's now represented by Hauser and Wirth, which is a very big gallery. But they are so nice. I mean, if you will see them at every single museum. There's a Calder piece.
Yeah, that name does sound familiar now to me. I'm sure I've seen these.
100% you've seen it. They're like everywhere, either a public collection, a corporate collection in a public space or in a museum.
So when you refer to blue chip art, you mentioned blue chip. Is that kind of like art where, there's for art to get, exhibited or distributed or just made because of like the metal or the materials involved, it takes money or funding or a grant or something. So when you say blue chip, is that referring to kind of like sources of money that sometimes are corporate or establishment? Or
it's not about the production. It's not about the production.
Okay.
It can be, like the banana on the wall.
Okay.
So that's also considered blue chip, but I mean, production, what, a banana, 50 cents, 60 cents, 70? How much does a banana cost in the States?
Is blue chip referring to the source of?
It's more about how scarce it is and how expensive.
Okay. Like as a commodity itself,
Correct.
as a thing.
Yeah, it's an asset.
Okay. Gotcha.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
store value in a way.
Gotcha. So yeah, that's another one that comes to mind. Banksy, of course.
Yes.
Where it's just graffiti, or it's on some janky wall, or it's nowhere. It's just like on a, in an alley or wherever.
Yeah.
But the fact that it exists and the story
it's incredible.
behind it, the rogue anti-establishment, the vibe of all of that, it now crazily, that is, it's not that it's paint on a wall. It's the
Mhm.
whole construct behind what that is. And
He's
everyone
a
knows
prop-
that now. So
he's a proper rebel, right?
yeah, right.
Bended the rules and made his own. He didn't follow the rules. He made his own rules.
Like Satoshi in a way too, such a good
Exactly.
job at remaining undoxed. Although, I mean, there's efforts like with Satoshi to like dox
Mhm.
him. Who is that?
Exactly.
We want to know whether to worship
Mhm.
him or
Yeah.
whatever, character
Yeah.
judge
Yeah.
him, whatever. There's a magic to being anonymous like that as well, a
Mhm.
pseudonymous. So
Correct.
um,
Correct. But it helps also.
yeah,
Sometimes your uh, people knowing about you, how you look, it gives them a little bit of a peace of mind, and
sure,
also
freedom,
exactly, yes, but also you're not going to disappear.
right? Yeah. Now,
Because I mean, Banksy, he was also represented by Steve Lazaridis, who was his dealer, and that also helped a lot, making his market.
okay. So someone
So
who could
there's a lot of
handle,
things.
yeah. When you get into art, there's a whole the business of art. So so many things. When you're art inspired or you have a skill and you like making stuff and you put proof of work and putting yourself out there, there's so many layers of things around creating the art itself, which is no small feat, having stuff that you like, that people like, that you can do.
Hmm.
What is it worth? Who's going to,
True.
how do you get it out there? Uh,
Correct.
uh, the subjective nature of its value, or what, just getting access to it, having it distributed, having limited numbers, or having
Yeah.
reprints or versions available, connecting the audience to it, and then
And you have to fight for everyone's attention. I mean, it's
yeah,
um, it's an interesting time, right, to be alive.
yeah. There's good artists out there, sort of like scientists say, where you're good at the science, but you're not like the marketer, and so
Correct.
having a number of skill sets or the people to help you with that, that's like you might have something brilliant, but how do you get it out there, put it out
Yeah. How do you
there,
market it?
marketing, all that. That's where galleries and exhibitions come in, and the sometimes artists, it's not in their nature, but they also kind of got to hustle, too, to get it out
Correct.
there. So
Definitely.
um,
Definitely. But it's interesting, right? How the system works. Because for Bitcoin, it really works well that it's left on its own. There's not a spokesperson to, mess it up in a way or change the
mhm,
vision, or, like all the drama around Michael Saylor and selling, not selling.
right,
And I think that's the actual beauty of Bitcoin. The math works, and everything around it, and you don't depend on someone's. The work is done in a way,
right, yeah,
and that is also art, right? Like if you're looking at a
yeah,
Van Gogh or whatever, like a painting, or the Mona Lisa, right? Da Vinci is not here anymore, but
right,
we all admire Mona Lisa.
yeah. It's here now, and now, and that art can be, delicate or fragile, or we need to protect it, very specifically, deliberately. Bitcoin being like this immaculate gift to humanity, and in granite, TikTok next block, it's
Yeah.
super, well, at this point, decentralized and secure, but you could say just, um, um, uh, carved in stone. So it's here to stay. And so with all the swirling things around Bitcoin and concern and protecting it, you can't just go and change it. We can make little tweaks and trims, and we need
Correct.
consensus,
Exactly.
and all that is so deliberate. And so the magic of Satoshi being pseudonymous and disappeared on us, and yet the network, the protocol, it just continues to grind along. And that's like the foundation on which we can do our own things, but
Exactly. And I mean, the beauty is also how much how many evangelists came into the space, and how much they created educational materials. They try to really preach and sparkle that interest and educate people. And that was very powerful. I think there are so many great ideas, and the fact that this actually took off, and here we are 17 years later, admiring it, understanding its value. It's incredible.
yeah, it's amazing. All the things that people have launched from it, and or had the means to
Mm-hmm.
do what they want to do because of it and freeing themselves. Asanoa and Kisa and some others put together Bitcoin Art Magazine.
Mm-hmm.
They have rebranded to Time Chain Art Magazine, I believe, just recently. But I don't think you were in the Genesis edition. But hey, down the road here, maybe you can be in the
You can
list.
ask them.
Yeah, connect. I will put in a good word with Asanoa. Hey, you never know.
Please do.
A number of these artists were at Prague at
The
other.
group show. Yeah.
Yep.
Building
Onik
bridges.
Onik was there. Yona, of
Mm-hmm.
course, Fractal and Crypt. Asanoa. Uh, well, in Vegas, I was in Vegas and I saw,
Ariel.
Ariel and others here.
I
Anyway,
love Ariel. She's incredible. Her art, just so skillful.
yeah,
I'm super big supporter of her art.
yeah, that is also fine line, realistic looking drawing. Just I can't even name them all off. There's so many. Oh, George Bodine was in Prague.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, so this is what I like about Time Chain Art Magazine is it's like, how do artists get out there, be part of a community, be seen, connect with the vibe? And this through this magazine and the exhibitions they do at conferences, they get artists connected. And there are some artists that are kind of a little more reclusive, don't want to be on podcasts. I've asked some artists to be on, and they're like, "Oh, I don't really do that."
Mm-hmm.
They'll join, but they aren't going to show their face and all that.
Yeah.
There's a mindfulness around their privacy, or it's just not in their
Mm-hmm.
nature to be sociable. They'll put their work out there, but they're not like a face to it. They want
Yes.
to be behind the scenes through galleries, exhibitions, the conferences, the Time Chain Art Magazine. It helps get artists out there and preserve the personality they want to retain as the artist. So I love it. But yeah, be great to see your work in an upcoming edition of
I'd love that.
Bitcoin Time Chain Art Gallery, Art Magazine. It's a
Guys,
gallery in
do
your
you hear
hands.
that? If you are watching,
Yeah.
I'm here.
Asanoa, I actually,
Exactly.
I'll ping. He's a great guy. I love Asanoa, and hey, I'll put in a good word. I'll just say, hey, I assume you've heard of Dimitria, but if you haven't, here's a good artist. So hey, he's always looking for artists and what they're making, and people who are unknown or are just up and coming, and
Mhm.
others, or don't put themselves out there. He is helping platform if they so desire to be platformed. He's helping create that platform from which artists can be part of all this. So I love what Time Chain Art Magazine is doing, what Asanoa, Kisa, and others are doing. I met a number of artists simply from that. Talked with Asanoa, got the gallery in your hands, the
Mhm.
magazine. From there, I mean, some of these artists too, like I might put on a pedestal some of these artists like Fractal and Crypt and others. I'm like, oh, they're like well known and
Yeah.
busy and important. And he's like, yeah, I'll be on your podcast. So
Fractal is awesome. I really like him. Yeah,
yeah,
I had just the best experience with him. We had a
yeah.
few, like little hiccups with normal. It's such a huge thing with organizing such a big group show. But he was awesome. I only have amazing things for Fractal.
In Vegas, Anik Malcolm, he had his theory of everything. Now
Mm-hmm.
he's made some versions of this, but the big one, this one here, he had shipped from Italy to get to Las Vegas, and it was supposed to have arrived early, and then it didn't. There were delays or some miscommunication, and it didn't get to the gallery or to the conference exhibit area until like day 2, I think, of the conference. And he was so stressed out. He was like pacing, and he had a print as a version example to show like it's like this, but this isn't it. And just getting your work, well, like you built your own box to ship your vase and all that, but physically making something and getting it moved and shipped to the gallery or to the conference, that in itself is a thing.
Yeah, it's
Anyway,
quite
it worked out.
the logistics.
Yeah, Anik was so stressed out.
Oh my God.
But
at
it
least
arrived.
In Prague, it was all there.
You had it.
Yeah, he had it in Prague. It was all
Yeah,
good.
yeah, he had it there as well. And when you've had a moment like that, like they've been on your podcast, you saw them here or there and elsewhere, and then when you see each other in person again, like in Prague, I mean, I'm an American, so going to Prague, it's like I don't know who's all going to be there, but then you see each other. It's so surreal. It's like, here we are, like hugs. We're in Prague together for
IRL.
I'd only seen Malcolm virtually. He's in Italy and I'm in Oregon, and then I see him in Vegas or in Prague, and it's like your brothers. It's just that the feeling,
the connection, right?
that we share.
Yeah,
yeah, and art connects that spirit to what you're all doing.
Yeah, because you have that mutual bond.
Yeah, and that's the human relationships. Just relationships are primary. There's these layers of the tech, the finance, the money, the system, and all these things of what Bitcoin is. And then the art, like I mentioned, it creates these relationships between something that could be very just objective or objects and stuff, the things in the world, to
kind of brings a trust layer, no? Doesn't it? Because you connect with someone based on whatever they're presenting or the thought is. So it's kind of a little bit brings that trust element, which is something that we lack in the financial system. And with Bitcoin, that's there.
Yep.
So it's
we have that the mutual
correct
vision, vibe, the energy, and there's so much that's positive. It's so much positive work and energy going into not even just Bitcoin, but everything that's going to grow on top of Bitcoin. I was imagining, like we've joked with others, in the future, it'd be like saying, someone, they're into Bitcoin, they're a Bitcoiner. She is a Bitcoin artist. Someday in the future, and on some, you imagine a Bitcoin standard, we wouldn't be saying like, they're into the internet. They're an internet guy. He does internet art. It's like, well, what does that mean? The internet is just part of the backdrop of how we function in life. Life is now, so like the internet, money, Bitcoin, there's that foundation in the air we breathe, but life is the essence of what we do with our time, and beyond all that, so
absolutely.
It's amazing to imagine where it's all going.
Absolutely.
When you think about, I guess before I ask the biggest picture type of question, what are you imagining working on next? Do you have something in production or the next kind of vision? You don't have to reveal what you don't want.
I have so much. It causes me a little bit of anxiety because I have so many things. I mean, on the other side of the room, I have like a set of fired vases that I need to paint. And something that I'm super excited about is I will be partaking at the Plan B conference in October.
Okay. You'll be in El Salvador?
Not El Salvador, in Lugano.
Lugano. I'm
El
sorry.
Salvador would be nice. It would be very nice.
I was thinking Lugano. Of the one in the spring or in January, but never mind. Yes, Lugano. I'd love to get to Lugano to see that one as well. So, okay, you'll be in Lugano, Plan B.
I'll be in Lugano end of October. I will have a room, which I'm very excited. So
Nice.
a few more works than what I had in Prague. And I'm also working on something outside of vessels. So we'll see. It's still with clay.
Okay.
Yeah,
A
stay tuned, I guess.
surprise, something new, something
Surprise.
different.
Yeah, something new. I haven't, it's the first time that I'm trying that specific style. So yeah,
Awesome.
we'll see.
When did you first find, was it through your husband, or when did you first find crypto leading to Bitcoin and get on the path of the themes of Bitcoin in your art? When did that start?
So Bitcoin quite early. And then that was around 2012. Then around 2017, 2018, 2019, 2018, 2019, I got into Ethereum. So I got into the NFT space, collected CryptoKitties and so on. Also understanding a little bit more how to transact. I think that was super important. And then COVID, when it hit, I think, what was it, like 7K spring, that was also thinking more and more how to actually get into that space professionally. And for me, that was when I moved from the art galleries. I moved to a limited art platform. So from physical space, physical commercial gallery, I worked for e-commerce platform. So small transition. And then 2022, I wanted to just work in the blockchain space. So I worked for an NFT platform. I know NFTs are not very popular in the Bitcoin space, but hey, I admire originals, so I hope I don't get.
I don't judge it harshly. It's a whole medium of expression that
it's a
lot
medium.
of people,
It's
and
medium.
it brings people into Bitcoin as well.
Exactly, and I think ordinals really was quite something smart. Also, I understand that a lot of people are not very happy with transactions, and there's a little bit of elitism around it.
There is. We could get into that controversy as much as we want to. I thought this was funny. You guys still have ETH or whatever. And again, you're
it's
fine.
so over. It's so over.
Your fine brush.
Exactly. So for me, it was very clear during the pandemic, 2020, that I had to be part of the space somehow. And I started making the vases in 2024 January. That's when I did my first workshop. I did a pottery, literally 2 days weekend course, and that's how it all started. Then I just bought clay. I brought it home in the kitchen. I put it, and then I just played with it. And I still have a full-time job. I mean, I work 80%. So with the rest of my time, I focus solely on ceramics and art making. Having studied art and not creating, I feel like it was create a little bit of a burnout for me, work-wise. So I think that's why I want to be able to. I'm very creative, so I need to have that come out of me in a way. Yeah.
Yes.
So like 2 years. Yeah.
Many people experience this where, in order to live, you got to have a daytime fiat job or do something. And then you fit in your hobby and your passions in the side. And you have so much time, so much energy, you got to sleep. And so I just imagine how much what I would do and what I could focus on if let's just say, imagine down the road in the future when Bitcoin is good to us, this winter season changes, and whether it's this cycle or the next, or if cycles go away, when, let's just say, like the rainbow, the vase you made with the pepes, and you go and check and the Bitcoin price is over the rainbow, and you go and enjoy your day in the sunshine with the rainbows and the butterflies.
Yeah. Continue your busy day, right?
What does life look like for you when Bitcoin allows you to have the time to yourself to do whatever you want? Do you imagine, continuing doing more in clay and maybe other media, more of this, or something maybe that is yet to be revealed?
I don't know. It is clay for me, but it's also
Mhm.
painting.
Mhm.
So I still see it strongly as primary. I'm a painter, right?
Mm,
And then the surface changes, right?
gotcha.
But I would still continue doing the same thing, whether the price is above the rainbow or below. It doesn't make a big effect. I'm still, to be honest with you, I love doing what I'm doing at the moment. And I would not, maybe it will change a little bit. But I touch clay daily. I have ideas that I'm developing on a daily basis. And of course, time is a fantastic luxury. Maybe spend more on that. But I think I'm at a good place right now in my life.
Here's
Yeah.
being in a good place. Zug.
Yes, that's not Zug. That's in the
Oh,
mountains, in the countryside. A bit cloudy. We would like a little bit more sunshine. Rowing, that's
getting out
Zug.
on the water.
Yes, exactly. Touching water, touching clay, staying in touch with nature, right?
Yeah,
And I
connected.
think that's the industry. That's the luxury of life.
And
Going to
here's
Greece,
visiting Greece some more. Do you still go back to visit
exactly.
Greece or where you came from often?
Yeah, I do it. I go quite a few times a year. Uh, I was there in June. I'm going again in September. Athens is incredible. It's one of my favorite cities in Greece. The food is incredible, the culture, not just the ancient, but they have quite a great contemporary scene. Contemporary art is very vibrant. So I think Greece is definitely a place to go. It's a must. Have you been?
Oh, I would love to get there. I've never been there, but I would love to see that. Yeah, I just random thoughts, but this past week I was listening to podcasts and thinking a lot
Mm-hmm.
about the Greek Republic, the Roman Republic, the Roman
Mm-hmm.
Empire. Got me into thinking about praxeology, Knut Sandholm and his book, and the nature of human incentives, human actions. What led back 2,000, 3,000 years ago from what people were doing in their world way back then.
Mm-hmm.
And I think of like working in clay, people
Yes.
working with clay back then, making art back then, and amazing art back then, going into architecture and structure and engineering,
But
all
isn't
the
it
things.
interesting, right? You say working in clay, but they were making it for storing food, right? Or for
Mhm.
serving wine. So, and then they had the statues that was
Mhm.
for reminding them that a fit brain requires a fit body. So there was
Mm.
always a reasoning behind all those items that they were creating, right? They were
Yeah.
not just consuming art for the sake of art. And the temples were
Mm.
used for spiritual practices. And I think nowadays we're kind of have lost touch. I don't want to be too negative, but
Sure.
like we have art on the wall or in the storage. We don't touch it. It's just there. We're not
Mhm.
really enjoying life. Or we have, expensive shoes, expensive handbags, status symbols for
Mhm.
pleasing others rather than pleasing ourselves. And that's
Right.
interesting. You mentioned, the Roman Empire, and that was like a huge discussion, I think, like last summer on X with like Elon Musk and everybody on podcasts, and X was
Mhm.
having a meltdown. And I think that also is serving yourself in a way, but not in a selfish way, in a
Mm.
more, you know, you have create so much creativity, then do something about it, right? You like
Uh-huh.
writing, then you should write and try and publish, right? And not just keep things for yourself or just consuming.
Mm. Right. Yeah. Uh, when it in the art, my learning about art would be like, okay, form follows function. So like early
Mhm.
things you made for function, and then from that, oh, why not make it consistent or nice or of quality, or add to it,
Exactly.
embellish it, make it beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
We have a wall. Well, okay, we needed a wall, but now you could
Exactly.
put a mural on it, or we need
And
floors.
you live with it. You
Yeah.
see it. You every single day, your kids, your family, your friends, you invite them over, they observe it, they like it.
Mhm.
Conversation starter. I think that's what art is great. It's the storytelling. And you
Yeah,
preserve
and
stories.
yeah, you create the fabric of your environment.
Mm-hmm.
And now, so then modern art, and people can criticize it as like no function, or it's not for anything other than pushing the boundaries and limits and human experience and some of the things. But again, as like a large sculpture of like, what is that? And it's out in front of a building or in a plaza,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a gestalt. It's more than just what it is. It's the context, the environment, and the human interaction with it all. So, yeah, no, art is hard to define at times.
True.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
well, Dimitria, oh, I wanted to not forget the NFCs. Your
Yes.
vases have chips inside of them, right? So they can
Correct.
connect the tangible medium with something online, digital.
Correct. Onchain. I had a similar with seed phrase that I had in Prague that had an NFC as a sticker on the base. And you just tap it and it directs you to the, what is it called? It directs you to the transaction, basically, of when the work was created.
Where it's at.
Correct. Yes.
Oh. And then now, is that on the Bitcoin blockchain or
for the Prague one? Yes.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yes.
So it's in a transaction on Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
but
awesome.
For the one that you showed before that says you guys still have ETH, that is on Ethereum.
Hey,
it has nothing to do.
Why not? I mean, Ethereum is useful for things like that.
Exactly.
I mean, hey, yeah.
And each blockchain is good. Some of them are awesome, and there are different utilities for them. And I mean, the other one was a commentary on the Ethereum NFT space. So.
Yeah, no, I love it. I want to make sure people know where to find you. So I will bring up to stage here. You can be found on X at Dimitria1337, a consistent handle you have here. That's where you post things about your art creation, examples of things you're making, the presentations you've made, the exhibits you've been at. And as you make stuff, you toss it up here. I love following you on here and seeing, activities you've been doing. You have an Instagram, if this will load here. Instagram, also Dimitria1337. So a lot of your artwork and posts here as well.
Mm-hmm.
What is this alien something of yours?
Not of mine. I was in Lux, and they had quite a few alien sculptures at the place where I was staying. So yeah, more HR Giger inspired works that keep on following me.
Yeah, it makes me think of Geiger, and also the cultural mythology happening now. I don't know what Europe thinks of this, but like in America, the Department of War and intelligence departments, supposedly there's disclosure, releasing of tranches of information about things from over the decades and beyond of UAP, UFO stuff. So it adds this element of what in the hell's going on in the world.
I know. I'm following. I'm wondering the same thing.
I don't want to distract from the topic of art necessarily. Maybe it connects. Why are we here? Who are we? Where did we come from? I guess I'd say I'm open-minded, but you can go down rabbit holes where I guess if you're willing to read certain actual documents from decades ago that the Air Force, Navy, Deep State made the effort to author and make secret and now are released. There are things about that where I'm like, you know what? We may not have any idea. I don't know. I mean, who knows? Are we alone?
Stay curious.
I stay curious. I find
Yeah.
it exciting and interesting. It's not from like a fear of like, oh no, like a frog, Pepe the frog climbs up through the clay and peers over the edge of the pond and looks around and sees other animals and is like, nope, I don't want to know.
I
I
don't
just
know.
sort of think as I crawl through the clay and look, if we were to see more or realize, oh, we're not the only frog in the pond here.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. I'm good for it. I don't know what it is, but maybe we find out.
Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe not the
Maybe
full
not.
picture. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's always kind of that esoteric, angelic mythology that we never quite pin down, but there's something.
Hmm.
Okay. Back to okay. Yes. Your socials, Instagram. You can follow Dimitria here on
Same
Instagram.
handle.
Same handle. And
Mhm.
your where did I just have it? Yes, your website. Go to artasaconsequence.net. Your website here, you can see her work, learn about her, and contact her. Links to X and Instagram. And let's see, is there a way to contact you here?
It's just you can just copy the email in the about section.
Oh, let me go to that.
It's just on the
About.
bottom,
There we are. Okay.
all the way on the bottom. Yeah.
Get in touch with Dimitria at artasaconsequence.net.
Yeah.
So open to connections. Hey, if you want to see her art, get her art,
Reach
collaborate.
out.
Yeah, reach out to Dimitria that way. So
Awesome.
anything else that I didn't touch on that I should have mentioned?
More aliens.
We can talk more about aliens if you want. Are you into that?
Totally.
I am. I am very careful because, when you manage the communities or people in your life, you can be flagged as weird enough for being into Bitcoin. You can definitely get flagged for being into paranormal anything.
What is happening in the States, though? It's crazy. You have the aliens, you have the Charlie Kirk, you have the politics. Europe, we just have the crazy EU, and that's it.
Right. The European Central Bank and the regulations, and it's all in Europe. When I look at Europe, it's all about this kind of human governance stuff going on, which is like, what is going on? There's immigration stuff, of course, that's been churning for a while. In America, so I don't know. Do you have time?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Well, I'm good for it if you are, because I don't mind talking about it. Sort of like, okay, new crazy subject here. I think maybe it connects to humanity and our art, as it does. Okay, so I don't know what Europeans think of America, but in America, there's a growing, deep, pervasive, like the invisible hand behind the scenes, where as an empire and being involved as we were in World War II, and what that was about. There was the war, of course, but then behind that was so much about having the intelligence, having the agents, assets on the ground, infiltrated, collecting the data, the deep state. Our own president, Eisenhower, warned us about the military-industrial complex. That's after he realized that he wasn't in charge and didn't have a grip on it. And he was basically warning him and like passing the torch on to Truman and onwards, that you may be the president, but you can't even go into certain rooms. You don't have the clearance. You won't even be briefed on some of this stuff. And that's back in the 50s. Of course, we had the Manhattan Project, the nuclear atomic energy stuff. A lot of this UFO stuff is classified under Department of Energy because they put the Manhattan framework of secrecy of like, not just secret and top secret and above top secret and all that. We're talking like Q and beyond that, Q classification. Anyway, to get deep divey on deep state stuff, for over a half a century, I mean, we're 70 years or more, Roswell was back in 47, or I can't even remember. But anyway, there are things that were not disclosed, were totally clamped down on by propaganda and mainstream media of what you're allowed to believe and that that's not real. And so behind the scenes, even as the government was deeply trying to respond to what is going on, classify it, understand it, what they collected or whatever was going on, they also had a propaganda campaign of Project Blue Book and others, Project Grudge, and where they were actively throwing away information, reframing it, saying, oh, swamp gas, Venus, crazy stories, not real, not real. Oh, you know, little green men. So there was an active propaganda campaign to tell people that is crazy, even as they were doing a hell of a lot at military bases and Los Alamos, Sandias Labs, Area 51, S4, Groom Lake, all that. It's not nothing. And it's so much that, I don't know, what do you say? Big if true. So as they release things, there are things out there that are blowing your mind. Now that's just UFOs and things, and it connects to not just like alien entities, but something metaphysical.
Yeah, metaphysical, but also political, no?
Yeah.
Politics really is quite emerged.
Yeah.
Politics, metaphysical. Is it metaphysical? Do they want us to believe it's metaphysical? You know, it's quite a trap, mind trap.
Right. So it can also be used as like a distraction.
Exactly.
Focus on that. Well, so we, you know, the human banks or governments continue to play their games.
Exactly.
And you can always, you know, whether it's, hey, here's Epstein. Oh, don't look at Epstein. Oh, hey, here's UFOs. It can kind of
super
lure your
interconnected.
attention.
Super interconnected. I mean, it's not really clear, but Seyfeddin Amos in the Bitcoin Standard, he touches on, you know, the First World War and how that was funded and how America did not have the capital, but they had to do it. So I think everything is so interconnected that at some point, you know, the story is whatever the story fits their narrative. Same with the UFOs. And why has this been so highly associated with the world wars, right? But the first one, the second one, nuclear weapons and everything. And why is it coming out? And why are they releasing all the papers, all the documents? Especially now, like the past 2 years, that has been quite the discussion. It's we're going through quite a lot of things, news-wise.
Well, in at least in America and a lot of Europe that I can tell too, if you try to peer behind the veil and understand what are the powers or players behind what we think we can start to see now, behind the wars, behind Epstein, behind heck, the JFK assassination, Charlie Kirk.
Or
there's
Lindsey
a country.
Graham. Did you see he died? They announced that.
Who?
Lindsey Graham, the U.S. senator. He died. Yeah, they announced it. They announced it today or maybe yesterday. It was all over X. He was in Kiev meeting with Zelensky. He landed in the States, and then they said unexpected sudden illness.
Oh.
And how tragic. That's it. Like, that's crazy. Like, the guy was fit.
Yesterday.
Super fit guy, went, met with Zelensky. There's video of him talking. Landed back to the States. Unexpected sudden death. I mean, how do you guys like buy the narrative? Crazy.
Yeah, and so it's easy to judge, like, well, so the Warren Commission coined the term, the CIA coined the term conspiracy theory. But it's easy to say, oh, you know, conspiracy theorists. I'm sort of like, conspiracy simply is. That is what it is in politics. It's all conspiracy. It's a blackmail-tocracy. So by wanting to learn or understand the nature of it, it's sort of like just conspiracy reality. then you don't want to get over your skis in terms of imagining things or seeing ghosts in the clouds, but still there's a lot to it. It makes you wonder. And then behind that, I think Saifuddin is on it pretty tight when he gets into property rights, the powers that be, all of that war, all of the stuff, all the hijinks that whether it's the deep state, the military, the governments, they've all been able to do that because they broke the money and they can pay for it and print the money and do all the things.
Correct. Central banks.
Yeah. Who are we doing that for and why? When we elect Trump, like a populist president who says no more war, and then we're right into Iran after Maduro and Venezuela, it's the same old story. So it's like, what changed? And there is a country in the Middle East that starts with an I that's not Iran that you could say, you can't even say the name of it because you'll be attacked, right?
True.
Possibly.
It's the same energy in Europe.
Israel is like to not be questioned or something about it. And so when you start to even go there at all, boy, it's like, why is this such a dicey subject? Why can't we question the nature of whose benefit are we doing what? And how does any of this make sense? If you followed in the Charlie Kirk stuff as well, boy, there's conspiracy ideas, theories that are diving right into the origins of, well, follow the money. You could basically follow the money.
Yeah. No, I'm quite interested in those subjects. Definitely. I think the lack of truth, the search of knowledge and wisdom can lead to the discovery of the truth. But under which glasses? Like, how do you spot that? And I think we have all those unanswered questions around us. Broken money. You know, Lynn Alden has this incredible book that she released it super big. I tried to read it, but I need a lot of time. Super interesting. And
so I think you start with money. Money leads to all of this. Like powers that be cannot do what they do without the broken money.
Correct.
And through the broken money, we can also be distracted, controlled, hustling to keep up. So that broken money, it all can boil down to the money. It allows empires to do what they do.
It's not a bad thing. You know, money is not a bad thing.
Right.
It's the way it has been used or abused, you know?
Yeah. The broken money.
The problem is broken money. That is the issue.
And that's where Bitcoin can fix this with a new hard asset, a property that can't be stolen, can't be printed, can't be messed with. My hope being that Bitcoin fixes this, and not just say, oh, well, Bitcoin will fix it.
Yeah.
I'm less patient than the universe is, but over time, I think it starts to realign the whole system is my hope.
Yeah, I agree with you. Definitely. And that's what we all are after at the end. And the only thing is education or information. And education, not really, you know, the formal university, high school, whatever that is. It's curiosity that will lead you to research or be exposed to knowledge and reading books and understanding, you know, how the system works. And actually, will you be able to find out how the system works? You know, like Austrian economics, is that it's hard to digest, or is it applicable? So I think all of those things are really different cells, atoms around Bitcoin.
Yeah, I was pretty black-pilled after I'd read books, and well, let's see. When did it start for me? Because I heard a lot from my parents about, heck, Vietnam, and then studying things that came out of World War II. And they remember JFK being assassinated. And then I remember when 9/11 happened, I was quickly questioning the nature of things about 9/11 and certainly where we went with that. And then the 2008 financial crisis we had, and then COVID, and then just like psyop after psyop after psyop. And so I was pretty black pilled and cynical and like, what am I going to do? Collect gold? I mean, there's no
Yeah.
escape from this. There's no answer until I found Bitcoin. And then with Bitcoin, it was like, oh, now we can save ourselves, protect ourselves, walk away. And I started spending more time and attention on that stuff in my life and my family and good stuff, appreciating art, for example. And then when
Yeah.
the propaganda or mainstream news or noise and stuff and other people losing their minds, when that would, be simmering and hot, it's not that I don't care. It's just that when all that's churning, I can look away and be like, I'm opting out.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get captured. It's a war for your mind. So
definitely. And it's also, like, can you be patient and see how that's going to evolve? Or do you want it to go to the moon right now? And if it drops, you're like freaking out and it's the end of the world. I think there's also quite a price obsession.
Yeah, it's been an upward roller coaster, but you've been through a few cycles now. So for some people, when it's new, like, oh my gosh, it crashed to 60. Could it hit 50? It's like, okay, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I can't remember now, but I mean, remember when it crashed to 16,000?
Yeah.
5 years ago, like, woo. Anyway,
it was actually 2022 or 23 that it went to 20K again in the summertime.
Yeah.
Like 4 years ago. It wasn't that long.
Yeah. So feeling that it's a longer term kind of a volatility, but that floor is growing, and the upward volatility can be crazy. I think I was talking to charting guy Matt Crosby recently, and we talk about it a bit, price type stuff. And I think that we're near or at the bottom. I mean, now being near can be months, but we're kind of in that part of the cycle. But the money printer is going to have to print. The governments are going to have to afford what they want to spend. And they're broke already. They're beyond broke. So they have to print the money. So
crazy, no? With also Nick Shirley, you guys have this.
Oh yeah.
With all the exposures, all the exposés on the taxpayers' money.
Fraud and waste and abuse. Yeah.
Yeah. Broken money.
I hate even thinking about it, but and that's where I just so categorically was like, for some people, it's like, well, vote harder or campaign harder. And I'm just like, I'm done. It's so broken. You could hire all the right presidents and politicians and all that, and they're stuck in that system. I think that system is just stuck. So there's
Lynn Alden, Lynn Alden must be happy with she chose the right title, right?
Oh, totally.
She's getting so much promo.
Yeah, and Larry Lepard, the big print, the big print has not even really started again. It's just a little, but there's a big print coming. So, and the broken money is just gonna, how do you break it harder? But you'll add another zero to that. So
crazy.
Yeah, it's fascinating. All the roads lead back to that money, our time, the fight for our time and attention. And by opting out through creation, art, you're freeing our mind and we're freeing others. And it's going to be education forever. People will always be needing to be educated forever as being humans in this system. But that's why I love having artists on the show, is to celebrate what
conversation is wide.
We can talk about anything. UFOs, Charlie Kirk. It's all connected.
And then, buy the dip with a little Pepe.
Buy the dip with Pepe. And that's the thing. When everything's like when the fire is flaming around you and you're just kind of that Pepe puppy, you're fine. This is fine.
Yeah, this is fine. Yeah.
And I honestly, like, my daughter's just waking up, making some noise upstairs. But that's the thing. I can, as it all burns and swirls in the background, you can have your husband, your family,
Exactly.
your time and
I
your
have my
mind.
dog who's like circling around and like stretching and yawning and shaking, and I'm like, he's
She's like, "Are you
distracting
done yet? It's time to go out."
me. Pretty much.
Um, yeah, and you've posted some pictures of your puppy as well. So, well,
Yeah.
I will let you get back to your life and your family, your puppy, and I'm gonna attend to my daughter who's
Oh
starting
my.
to wake up and make noise.
Morning
So
cuddles.
get to my day. It's morning
Yeah.
here, so
Morning cuddles with the little one.
yeah, it's so
Enjoy.
cute. Being the dad for a daughter. I have older sons as well. And there's something about her that's different, and she's a cuddler. And I
Awesome.
thought I knew what love was, like I can love. I love, and it's in my nature. And as a
That's very
parent,
nice.
as a dad, a husband, all that.
Mhm.
And with a daughter, we have a different relationship. I love even more. My heart's been growing, so
That's beautiful. Super
it's been
nice.
fun. So
Thank you so
I'm gonna
much for
go up
having
and
me.
say hi to her.
Mhm.
Demetria, thanks for joining me. This has been super fun. Great to see your art. I can't wait to see you. Heck, if I can get to Lugano, that'd be awesome. I don't know if I can, but would love to see you and your work down the road at other conferences and exhibits. I'm super excited to see what new things you're working on and what that'll be.
I'll send you pictures for sure. If I don't see
Awesome.
you, definitely.
Sounds good. All right. Thanks everybody for joining us. This has been fun. And until next time, bye
Ciao.
everybody.